Binance is a massive, unregulated global monopoly now.
I think Calvin's a liar. So I think he's lying about a bunch of stuff. First of all, I think Calvin or Larry, he's making a bunch of nonsense claims, and they don't make sense. They don't make any logic. He shouldn't be making those claims as a celebrity investor. I'm actually very surprised that he's able to omit a lot of different things and make some really specific, targeted things. Very simply, Binance does not owe people money. Binance does not have loans from other companies, from other funds. We just don't have it. You can ask any fund in the ecosystem. You can ask any VC. We actually also do not have VC investments, so we don't owe anybody any money, and we also do not have loans to other people. We are very simple, very self-contained type of organization, and we manage our cash very simply. So that's very, very different from the FTX situation, where so people who were hurt by FTX are now worried about everybody else, and they were defending FTX before. That's why they have money on FTX. So, but just because they're bitten by one snake doesn't mean that every other animal is the same. Actually, many of them don't even know how to audit crypto exchanges. They don't really when they audit, they're very used to auditing a firm. They don't know how to audit user assets, different blockchains, etc. First of all, I think Calvin or Larry, he's making a bunch of nonsense claims, and they don't make sense. They don't make any logic. He shouldn't be making those claims as a celebrity investor. I'm actually very surprised that he's able to omit a lot of different things and make some really specific, targeted things. For example, in that interview with you guys, that in the same interview, he said the entire record from his account on FTX, the entire records are gone. He's not concerned about that. He just picks up the phone and calls SBF. He's not concerned about the fact that the platform records for users are gone. He's not concerned about other users. How many people can pick up the phone and call SBF? And he says he was talking with SBF up until the point that SBF was arrested.
Yeah,
that's an indicator of a very special relationship.
Yeah, I see your point, and I don't think the problems that existed at FTX were simply any back and forth between your two forms. It definitely led to the disclosure that there had been money that was taken, but that disclosure raises lots of questions about firms like yours. Have you done the same? Has there ever been commingled funds? Have you ever taken any of the clients' funds and done anything with them? And again, why should we believe you? Because Sam Bankman-Fried told everybody, no, that hasn't happened. And he tweeted a lot of the same stuff that you've been tweeting in recent days, which I think gets back to this idea of show me the money.
Yeah, so let's get back to show me the money part. So Calvin omitted the fact that there's no records. That's not a problem to him. So he just want to talk to Sam and believe whatever Sam says. He doesn't want to look at the records. And if you look, and he wants to omit all the small spendings, $50 million, $200 million. $200 million is small spending. That's very convenient. He says he didn't know that Binance was a shareholder of FTX. So he invested in FTX without looking at the cap table. But he was very specific in the way he counts for a transaction 2 years ago. So that's kind of contradictory. So I think Calvin's a liar. So I think he's lying about a bunch of stuff. So that's his problem. To us, we want to be transparent. We want to set the golden standard for reliability, solidness in this space.
Do it.
It's a combination of, I believe it was a combination of BUSD, BNB, and FTT. I don't know the exact combination now, but it's probably about, I don't remember exactly, but FTT is a big chunk. And that's why we still have even after the FTT price dropped over the last year, we still had $500 million worth of it. $580 million worth of it on the day when we transferred from the address we received a year and a half ago. We never touched it. We actually kind of forgot about it. And then we transferred it on the blockchain from that address we received to Binance.com, and that got picked up by the community. So in this industry, everything's very transparent. My expectation, though, just from common logic, is that there was a lot of spendings after that transaction in the more recent times. FTX done to Miami, football stadiums, referees, sponsorships, even to Calvin himself.
But would you be able to handle it if somebody asked you for $2.1 billion back? Would that be okay? Would you be able to still withstand things?
We're financially okay.
FTX was making a lot of investments in other places that turned out to be customers' money. Where did you guys get the money for the $500 million investment in Twitter?
We don't use customers' money. We have revenue. Our revenue comes from trading fees, and we have very solid revenue. We do not spend on crazy advertisements. We're okay. And we paid the Twitter investment already in cash. Was done. It was not customer money. What FTX doing is that they just take customer money without permission and give it to Alameda to trade. And that's a very different situation than when a user puts their money into a program, say a earnings program, and that is used for other traders who are on the system, who are properly margin monitored. And if they go through their margins, then they will be liquidated. So the way we do that is we do have a program called Earn, where people can put their money into a program to earn interest. The money is used for other margin traders to borrow from. And we actually, sometimes we do run out because the demand supply sometimes don't match up. But the money never leaves the platform, and we do margin controls for those. We do risk management for margin traders just across the board. And so we don't have an account with unlimited leverage like Alameda had on FTX. That is very different. The well-run crypto exchanges should hold user assets one-to-one. So user deposit Bitcoin, we hold it in Bitcoin, we move to a cold wallet, we keep some in the hot wallet. And people, they sell it, now the Bitcoin belongs to somebody else, but we still hold it in the cold storage. People can withdraw 100% of the assets they have on Binance. We will not have an issue in any given day. So 100% of users withdraw 100% of the assets, we'll be fine. This is very different for traditional financial people to understand, because banks run on fractional reserves. And the traditional regulators, many of them may think that it's okay for crypto businesses to be running on fractional reserves. That is not okay. In crypto, there's no central bank printing money to bail out banks when there's a liquidity crunch. So crypto businesses have to hold user assets one-to-one. And that's what we do. It's very simple.
Okay, but let me ask you about that specifically, and I don't want to get too technical, but indulge me for a moment. When you had what seemed to be liquidity issues around customers wanting USDC, it looked, at least from this vantage point, that what was happening here could have been avoided if, and tell me if I'm wrong about this, you allowed customers to deposit and hold USDC instead of what it looked like was that you auto-converted them into your own exchange dollar. Am I wrong?
There's minor corrections. So number one is we do the auto conversion into BUSD, which is not issued by us, which is not the exchange dollar. It's actually issued by a New York DYF licensed entity, Paxos. So the reserves are in New York. It's a stable coin. The problem we had before is we have many different types of stable coins on Binance. And Bitcoin trades against USDC, Bitcoin trades against BUSD, and the USDT, there's TUSD, there's a bunch of other things. And then it's very difficult for users to find the best price. So we said, okay, they're all stable coins and they should convert one-to-one. So let's combine all of them into one, so that the users just they want to buy Bitcoin, they go to Bitcoin BUSD and they find it. On the deposit and withdrawal, we do the conversion. We have channels to convert them one-to-one, but the channels we have actually have to go through a bank, because to convert from BUSD to USDC, we have to sell BUSD into US dollars, cash in a bank, move it to a different bank account, and then buy USDC at a different institution. So that day, we had more users trying to buy or trying to